Hey, this is a Moorpark market update. This is February, and I'm going to do some January and the year prior updates and see where things are at from a year ago. So, what is it that's going on in Moorpark? And if you're looking to buy in this area, you need to kind of have an idea of these numbers because it'll help you negotiate whether you're selling or buying. And so let's get started. But first, hey, I'm Saul Carter, Realtor here in the area, and I'm all about business sense, common sense, and being that uncommon realtor. So let's start with our first part is the absorption rate. The absorption rate is how fast the total number of properties that are on the market get absorbed or bought up, right? A year ago, it was at 1.3 months, 1.38 months to be exact. Now, it has actually all the way up to 2.33 months, which is a 70% increase. That means there's more listings on the market than there were, and they're getting sucked up a little bit slower. That means you will have more chances as a buyer to see some of those properties, not quite as urgent as needing to make that, 50% over full price offer like immediately. Okay, so next, let's talk about the pricing. Pricing is actually down from a year ago on the solds, 5.7%. The median list price is $849,000, and the median sale price is $975,000, which is actually up a hair. And so, what does that mean? That means that we don't have a huge increase in the amount of properties. The absorption rate has gone up, but it means that basically people that are pricing their homes right are selling, and people who don't price their homes right are just sitting forever. So, keep that in mind when you are listing your property. The average days on market, cumulative days for any individual listing is 83 days, and that is unchanged from last year. So still the same number of days. It just so happens that there's a few more on market. The median days on market is 39 days. So if you're priced right, you're going to be able to close in that first, almost as close as a month once you list it, right? You're going to spend about a week negotiating, and then you're going to be in escrow and closing that property at that 39-day mark if you price it properly. And, that is good for a lot of reasons. So real important to make sure that you're pricing your property right to begin with. Don't let agents tell you it's worth way more than it is and buy that listing from the realtor who really knows what they're talking about. Anyway, so, and negotiating power for the sellers have actually gone down a little bit. Chart is sitting roughly at 96 to 97% of the range, but that means that it's a little bit softer for the sellers. So that means they're going to have to, in that low range, if it is below that, let's say 850 mark, it's going to sell pretty quickly. If it's above that 850 mark, you're looking at needing to negotiate on terms or other things. Think about maybe even buying down some points if they're, for a buyer. Only if you're desperate. It's not, but sometimes you can get a better price buying down the points for them, and and they get a better interest rate, and they're super happy, and you sell faster. And let's talk about what's in escrow. Moorpark has 27 sold listings in January 2026 compared to 9 in January 2025, which is up 200%. The pendings are 21, so even though they sold more, there are still 21 pendings, and last year was only 15, which is up 40%. And so the real takeaway from all this stuff is to make sure that you are pricing right and willing to negotiate if you're in that higher end in the market. Obviously, if you watch some of my other videos on, you're going to get some good bonus content in there on how to set your property up to sell to begin with. Make sure you do renovations and don't record videos while you're in the middle of renovations. Look, there's paint over here, paint coupler, and then there's, anyway. All right. Uh-oh. I was about to sneeze. All right. All right, and what does it mean for buyers? You're going to be able to get things priced right, relatively turnkey, and so it's a good time to buy. Interest rates are down. The market, interest rates are not going to go down that much more the next few months, at least as far as the Fed is concerned. They lowered the interest rates 3 times last year, so things have loosened up a little bit, but it is. They just had an opportunity to drop them another quarter last week, and they did not. So that's where we're at on our market update. If you need any other tips, tricks, advice, anything, watch some of my other videos, and I will talk to you soon.